came out when I was young.
Identical.
They're not teenagers anymore. But would you mind losing the hat? Sorry. Sorry. Thanks.
It looks great, you're good.
How do you feel? Good. Yeah, some really good things. I like your eye contact with everyone. I think your motion is very fluid. Oh, that's really, really nice. A couple little suggestions I might make here. When you have a fermata that you're not going to break, you still need to sustain it a little bit longer. Right now, you're just kind of going through it. And they're expecting something to happen there. Now, you don't have to do it all the time. I mean, you could, but because it's in the music, I might suggest you allow a little time to exist before you move on. They were kind of caught off guard. You probably noticed that they were like, oh, okay, what's going on here? So just be with them there, get their attention, and then you guide them over the bar. I thought your release points were clear. That was all good. Now, can we vary the look that we're giving them at times? Right now, I mean, your lips are open, you're breathing, you're making eye contact. And you have a listening face, and that's a compliment. I mean, because I can tell you're intently listening to what's going on. But at some point, we have to give some feedback. Now, when you get in your education classes, we're going to talk about the teaching cycle, and this is a cyclical effect that occurs in teaching. The teacher gives instruction, the students respond, and then the most important part, perhaps, is the feedback that occurs, okay? So, and this then becomes further instruction, further response, further feedback, and so on, the cycle of education. As conductors, sometimes we spend a lot of time giving the information, and the students respond, and sometimes we forget to give feedback. Now, feedback has many different forms, right? I mean, feedback could be, hey, that was great, but when we're making music in real time, that feedback can't be that. So sometimes it's a look, sometimes it's a smile, sometimes it's the way we stand. We develop this nonverbal communication, if you will, with our ensemble. So I want you to start thinking about what you're hearing, and we're going to do just a little bit of it again, and see if we can try to create a response to something. And if you really like something, great. Doesn't mean it always has to be affirming. Sometimes it's, no, I want this instead, or no, let's do more. That sounds really great. More, and then when I leave them, that's the feedback. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Okay, or something. It could be a lot of different things. But we just have to remember that part of it now as the teacher in the moment. Okay? Let's start right at the very beginning again. We'll just do a few bars. And I love the eye contact, but then just see if we can react to things in some way. Okay. So, and part of it was because your head even did it with them. So if you don't want it to release, don't stop moving. Okay. Once you stop, you're gonna have to start again. And once you start again, that's gonna break sound. So I would encourage you to keep moving and keep that pressure set. Keep breathing. Now that you're thinking about some of the, now we're getting a little unclear with some of the commodities. That's okay, that's normal too, because as we add layers to this, all of a sudden, we have to figure out how to make it all happen at the same time. That's why we start off with just minimal stuff, and then we'll get easier over time. So, what's the rule on the releases for the fermatas? Small release, and then the prep needs to be larger, okay, so that it's clear. So, small release, and then a prep that is clear and defined. Now, I say defined, defined could be defined in many different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be this, but the motion up and down should match so they get a sense of exactly what the sound you want. Okay? All right. I'm going to ask Vanessa to, oh, yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, can I see something real quick? Your communication with the back row and the brass, especially Aaron, is undeniable. It's fantastic, and you're reaching right out to him, but you have a whole row of musicians in the front. So I just want to see what it would look like if you start communicating with them too.
Woodwinds?
I know.
Never heard woodwinds before. I play trombone.
I know.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, why don't we do, let's do everything again. So Vanessa's going to go and help us reinforce some of these things and give you some ideas.